Okay, I want to see if this coordinate is a solution to these two. So what I'm going to do is, this is x, this is y. I take the first equation, x minus 2y, sorry, I'm going to put a number in for y, is less than negative 1. And then for the other one, I have y is greater than 1 minus x. So what I'm doing here, this is the first equation, this is the second equation. For the first equation, x is right here, negative 3. Here, y is 1. And for the second equation, this is y, so y is 1. And for the second one, x is negative 3. So basically, I have two equations, and I'm plugging into them x and y and seeing if they're both true. Now, they both have to be true for it to work. If one of them's not true, the whole thing's false. So, let's try it. What's negative? That's negative 3. What's negative 2 times 1? Negative 2. And doesn't that give me negative 5? Is negative 5 less than negative 1? If you look at a number line, is negative 5 to the left of negative 1? Yeah. Yes. So we're good so far. But it has to be true for both. Let's try this one. That becomes 1. And what's 1 minus negative 3? Well, when you minus a negative, that's plus. Is 1 greater than 4? That's no. So what's my answer? If one of them's no, what's my answer? My answer is no. Is this a solution? No. It's true for the first one, but not the second. You have to check both of them. Now, for the next piece, we're actually going to graph to find the solution. So I'm circling this in blue because I'm going to graph it in blue. We're going to begin this graph at negative 1. Remember the b value? And the slope is 2, so we're going to go up 2 over 1. Remember that? Now, since this has a line underneath, doesn't that mean solid? The line underneath means it's a solid graph. Now, is that a less than or greater than? That is a less than, which is less than or equal to actually. But less than. Now, which hand is this? The right or left? Isn't that the left hand? And which side is the bottom of my hand? Which is the lesser side of my hand? Is it down here? Isn't this the lesser side of my hand? The bottom of my hand? Okay. The other one. We're going to graph this one. This one begins at 3, the number by itself. And you might want to draw a negative 1 in there. That means you're going to go down 1 over 1. Now, that's a greater than sign. Is that dotted or solid? There's no line underneath, so it's dotted. So it's a dotted line. Now, is that a greater than or less than? What was it? That's greater than. So, isn't this hand, the one on top right here, my right hand? Greater. What's the top of my hand? Isn't it over here? Isn't it the greater side of my hand? Now, do you see how they overlap somewhere? That's your answer. Your answer is the whole thing, but you have to darken where it overlaps. Meaning, all coordinates in this spot are true for both equations. All coordinates in this area are true for both equations. Let's do this one. Now, to graph this one, do you understand I actually have a plus 0 here? And you also understand my slope is 1. So this one begins at 0 and has a slope of up 1 over 1. It has a line underneath there, so that means that my graph is a solid line. And is that less than or greater than? It's less than. So it's this hand right here, and lesser's down here. Lesser's on the bottom. So I shade that side. Remember, less is always on the bottom. My hand is this way. Bottom's down here. Now there's a problem. Is this one ready to graph?
No.
No. So let's minus this 3x over. I now have negative 2y is less than or equal to negative 3x plus 6. I divide by what? Divide everything by negative 2. And I now have, that cancels, y. Now when you divide by a negative, you have to remember the sign flips. That sign flips because I divided by negative. Anyways, negative 3 divided by negative 2 does not reduce, but it does become positive. 6 divided by negative 2 does reduce. It's negative 3. Can I graph this? So I begin at negative 3. And it says, what's the slope say? Go up 1, 2, 3 over 2. And is that line solid or dotted? I think it's solid because there's a line underneath. And what side of the line shaded? What's greater than, correct? So if I put my and right here, isn't that mean top of my hand? Isn't this side shaded? Now, do you see kind of a spot where they're both shaded? Do you see right in here? Do you see how they're both shaded right there? That's your answer. That little wedge right there. Anything in there is true for both. Last problem. Let's graph this one. These are a little bit harder for some people to graph, but they're actually, with practice, pretty easy. Where does x equal negative 4? Is it there or there? Hopefully you realize x is negative 4 right there. Now, when it says x is greater than negative 4, you have to realize first, where is x equal to negative 4? Well, it's everywhere along this line. Now, why did I make it dotted? It's just a greater than sign. If it had a little greater than or equal to, I'd solid it. Now, which side is greater? If you have that line right here, which side has larger numbers? These or these? If you think of a number line, aren't these bigger on the number line? Isn't everything over here bigger on the number line? So you have that now. Okay, for this one, y is 3. Right there's y is 3. It's or equal to, so it's solid. And it's less than. So which is the bottom? Less is bottom. Isn't that down here? So where are they overlapped? There's your answer right there. Where they're overlapped is your answer.